Hello everybody and welcome back to CRC Action. This time we bring ourselves to the Indycar series. For a couple rounds remaining in this championship, we head over all the way to Japan, and this time we're here at Sugo for the Grand Prix. And actually, for the first time this season, we have two commentators in the booth. I'm Alan, and I'm alongside, joined by Crusher.
Hello. Yes, we are live. So we have Sugo here in the rain. It's an exciting track and quite a short track as well, so we will see times creep to round about 1 minute 8 as they are now. We might even see some pushing that pole time from Speedster, I believe, yeah. But it will be challenging as well. We see here 4 drivers are yet to set a qualifying time. But this track will continue to slow down as there is a car that's standing off track there and the wrong way round.
Yeah, so, I mean, for today, qualifying should be all wet for the weather slots. It will be rain, heavy cloud, then rain again, so expect the weather to change back and forth. We saw a race like this back in Season 4 with interchanging conditions for the GT3 series, so for these drivers it may be a bit tricky trying to keep the car on track, but again, with the safety car rules, it should not be that bad. But today we have ourselves with 12 drivers. I'm pretty sure that is one of the better attendance races, like on wise of attendance, so with 12 drivers should be a fairly solid race today. Here's Racing at Home climbing up the hill, and let's see, 10 minutes left. He's going to cross the line, no improvement, stays in P3. But yeah, Speedster already going back out on the lap. Carmentalist is second, also exiting the pits. Then Racing at Home, you have Agulator, who almost won the race yesterday for LMP3. Then we have Emmanuel down in 5th. 6th place is Iro Packer. 7th place is Ben Gallagher. 8th place is NLR Yoger. 9th place is Iro Damon. 10th place is Matt. And then after that, we have Tiger Kart and Toxic, who have not set laps yet. So if you look at the pole time, it's actually by 1,000th of a second between Speedster and Carmentalist.
Yeah, and despite this being a relatively short track, it's in the wet, so being able to get that close in terms of lap time is rather impressive and extraordinary. So
I think this could be the closest pole time we've ever seen in a CRC event before. I mean, obviously in real life, the 1997 Grand Prix at Jerez saw 3 identical pole times, but I mean, obviously they're not identical. They are 1,000th of a second each other off. If they were the same lap times, it would go down to the driver who set the time first. So in that case, that is how the pole order would be determined. But Carmentalist still looks to be improving. We could check the splits right now as he climbs up the hill. 9 minutes remaining now. And I do reckon these drivers will be able to improve on these times, so I don't think it'll matter when it comes down to the end. But Jake is 3/10 off. After that, Agulator in 4th is 8/10 off, and then it's down to a full second with Emmanuel down in 5th. But to climb down the order, Iro Damon has promoted himself up to P6, and it shows Matt is now exiting the pits, while Tiger Kart and Toxic have not set times yet. And actually, I'm quite curious to see if this is going to be a lap for Toxic as he crosses the line. It puts himself P10.
Yes. It's a solid lap there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So which drivers do you think we should keep an eye on for qualifying today?
Well, Speedster and Carmentalist have some great momentum, so I think that they are going to fight it out for pole. With the session just gradually getting more wet, finding more time will be difficult, as we see Racing at Home here going for a spin, pushing too hard. But by the looks of things, it's either going to be Speedster or Carmentalist. My bet is on Speedster. But it's all about race pace here. It's a long race and there's varying conditions, so you have to manage those wet tires that you start on.
Yeah. I mean, I could see Carmentalist coming out on top today. He does have the experience of the Indy cars. I mean, Speedster has only done 1 race in these things, and he was planning to run the Indy 250 and did not. So again, there is a variability of experience, and I feel like Carmentalist does have that edge. And if Jake was in front, as he runs himself off, maybe to just let others by. But I feel like if Speedster did a couple more races, he would have, the better edge. Same thing when it actually crosses a line, no improvement. But yeah, and then same thing for Jake. If he started on the front row, then I could say, then yeah, he could be a threat today. But if he starts in the second row in these types of conditions to start with, then he could put himself by a big hefty gap before, we enter the dry phase of this race.
Yes, and also it's going to be difficult here, especially for Speedster because his setups, to my knowledge, are rather aggressive on tires, and we are on a track that eats front left tires, and the wet tires do not last very long when it comes to the rain. Oh well, when it comes to the dry. So he may need to dial his speed back, whilst the other drivers can turn it up. Oh well, we will see in 7 minutes.
I'm quite curious to see. Speedster runs himself off and bringing some of that gravel back onto the track before you get ready to go through that Drusky right-hander. I mean, here's Emmanuel almost running wide. You have Iro Damon. There's Packer spinning around, so I think he actually did hit that gravel, that Speedster. And there's Yogurt getting out of the way is Packer. And Yogurt already does have a grip penalty. It's only one spot, so as he climbs up the hill is Yogurt and that number 7. Let's see. He did run yesterday's race, fairly consistent. He's only 1.9 seconds off the pace. Then Tiger Card is 2, then 3 seconds for Toxic, and then Matt is all the way down in last. And, you know, Matt is running top 3 in the points, so it's quite shocking to see Matt all the way down this far. He probably just hasn't gotten a clean lap in yet.
Yeah, and this doesn't look good because the track is getting so wet now. We see drivers sliding all about, and there's tons of gravel, especially in Sector 3 on the track. So yeah, you see that on the outside. Can't really touch the gravel, and that's bad.
Yeah, so as Matt comes through the final corner, climbs up the hill, uses some of that horsepower left of that Chevrolet Indycar. 5.5 minutes left. It'll be Matt across the line. Any improvement? No, actually, yeah, he did improve by a couple of tenths, but he's still last, and 8 tenths off the next car, which is Toxic. It's quite shocking to see, and nobody's really improving their times as of yet. You can ride on board with Agulator. He does have some traffic ahead of him. I think that's Emmanuel getting on the grass. Is Agulator.
Oh, kept it out of the wall. That's impressive.
Yep. Was that?
Yeah,
it was not Emmanuel. That was... Who was that? Can't find that driver. At this point, we don't know, but Speedster is still going for runs, so is Carmentalist and Racing at Home. They're trying to improve their times, but again, on a more wet track, I just don't think they're going to be able to. They need to really put in some good times with 4.5 minutes left. Here comes Emmanuel Beast. He's looking to improve his time, and again, we have the splits on to show, or at least let's look at the timings. So yeah, a lot of these guys are running with low fuel, obviously for the lighter car, lighter fuel load. So for Manuel, no improvement.
I don't think they can improve any further now. Only a few drivers, of course Matt, he's a bit far behind, doesn't look like the usual performance we see from him. So he probably has a bit of room for improvement, but by the looks of things, the qualifying session has stabilized and we won't see any further improvements. As I say that, switch from P7 to P6. One of the IRO drivers jumps the other.
Interesting. I'm surprised you caught that, but yeah, Packer moves up to 6th place after missing last week's race, or weekend's race. Now he's jumped Damon, and remember, if you see Yogurt down there in 9th place, he does have that grid penalty, so that'll move up Tiger Card up to 9th place, while his teammate, actually, Slow Car, that's Toxic.
Yeah. Slowing to a halt there.
Yeah, just letting by a few drivers, it's fine.
Yeah. Looks clean.
Trying to warm
getting the last bit
up.
of heat into those front and rear tires before he goes for it.
Yeah, so as of right now, he climbs up the hill, 3 minutes left. And yeah, I'm kind of curious to see a lot of these drivers, 7 liters. That's what the normal is around this track for a qualifying lap, at least 7 liters as he crosses the line. Same thing for Yogurt. Oh, actually down to 3, so he's been out there for a couple of laps, right up against the grass on the left-hand side with the white line. And he's going to see if he can improve that time. He feels like he can, to sort of... no improvement, though. Let's see. Oh!
That's Gallagher off track there, going back into the pits.
Yeah, last weekend's winner is now running in 8th place for this track, and quite surprised. I mean, he may not fare well in these wet conditions, but Sugo is very much alike of Imola, and figuring that he had the fastest car there, apply the setup here, readjust it to the wet, a couple other things, as Damon was lagging for me for a brief second.
Me as well.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, you would have figured that for a driver's capability of Ben Gallagher, extremely fast. And he was so at Imola, just trying to transfer that setup over to Sugo. And he's all the way down in 8th place, and at threat of even being ousted outside of the top 10.
Yeah, I believe I think the suspension settings here, especially for the front end, is very different compared to Imola, because at Imola you have left, right, and chicanes, and those are all high speed, whereas Sugo is mainly low speed, double right or left-handers. So it's going to be difficult to make that transition, and you have to run quite extreme wing angles to get any sort of mid-corner speed here.
Well, I mean, yeah, you say Sugo is low-speed corners, but then you look at it, that chicane you go a lot faster through than the one at Imola, which is a lot lower speed. But regardless, yeah.
There's going to be quite a few setup changes. That chicane is probably, when it dries out, we'll probably see drivers that are going just straight flat through it. But these cars are rather wide, so if they go side by side, it's going to get real frisky real quick.
So less than a minute remaining. So Speedster coming up on the lap. Once he crosses the line, this lap will be good, and he'll have one more chance to improve that time. Remember, he is 1,000th of a second clear of Carmentalist. If you're not sure how close that is, let's just say too close to call. He crosses the line. Yeah, still cannot improve.
Yeah, it looked quite squiggly on the curbs there on this last lap, so no real chance of improvement, as we see also tons of puddles on the apexes of turns there.
Yep, just running right about wide on the grass. Carmentalist is in the pits, and with this much time remaining, so is Speedster. Yeah, nobody can improve.
Yeah, only driver being able to improve was the IRO teammate jumping the other.
Yep.
Believe it was Pacquiao. Yeah, Ben Gallagher coming up. This is his last lap. Putting it all on the line for the last corner.
Full throttle.
Yeah, full throttle, no problem. Climbing up the hill, and he crosses the line too. No improvement.
Yeah, no avail at all. Let's see who else. So Toxic is right behind Yogurt here. There's a car in front of... Whoa! Toxic hangs on. That lap must be done for. Let's look at Matt. This will be his final lap, and he's hoping to scrape himself outside of the top 10 now. And right up against the pit wall, surprisingly. Will this be an improvement?
He slows down.
Yeah, he's ran out of fuel as he crosses the line in typical Matt fashion.
It did improve by 5/10 since we last saw him, but he's still P12.
Yeah, he's still 3/10 behind Toxic as we're spectating now. Toxic is off the track.
Oh, that's a heavy crash.
Yeah, and that's going to be it for qualifying.
That's a scary place, that is. If you get touch the grass a bit, then you just straight off, and during the race that can cause a really scary situation. So we hope all drivers keep it well within the white lines there.
Yep, even in real life, just the barriers going head-on in a flat-out corner, especially the final corners, you're climbing uphill. Yeah, definitely scary, and luckily, that doesn't really translate in this game, so we're quite happy, that's the case. But looking down at the pole order, it's Speedster, Carmentalist racing at home within 3/10 of each other. 1,000th of a second clears. Carmentalist behind Speedster. After that is Agulator, Emmanuel, Packer, Damon, Ben Gallagher. Yogurt demoted a place down, so he starts P10, while Tiger Card is P9. Then after that, it is Toxic, and then it is Matt. And that is the grid order for today's race.
Yeah. And I also saw in the sector times there that Speedster was ahead in the first sector by 10 for 2. So he is probably running high wing angles than both Carmentalist and Racing at Home. But that wing angle is going to be critical, because right after the first sector is a quite deceivingly long straight. And then you have this high speed section, so they will get right close up to him there. And with that lack of straight line speed, it may get tricky for him.
Yeah. Definitely someone to look out for today. Speedster after that. Carmentalist and Racing at Home. I would say those three are the main ones to watch today. I mean, Agulator did play a threat last week in Imola. I mean, so did Ben Gallagher, but he starts in P8. I mean, so did Matt, but he starts dead last in this race today. But yeah, like we said, the predicted weather, if you're just joining us now to this CRC IndyCar series at Sugo, it will be from rain to heavy cloud to another slot of heavy cloud, and then to finish it out, it'll be rain again. So starting out, 45-minute race will be present in IndyCar, just the safety car rules. So you can go anytime if you're the leader from a safety car from the pit entrance to the start-finish line. So the leader can control the safety car restart. The speed under safety car is 80 miles per hour, just for those people tuning in. And with 8 minutes left, safety cars are turned off, as it would be too close to the finish to call a safety car. So those are the rules that we know of and will be going forward for the safety car. And once it is called, the pits are closed to prevent people from pitting before the pits are officially opened. Anyone who pits within that time will be sent to the back before the restart. And those are the safety car rules.
Yeah. Seeing the drivers getting used to the safety cars now as we go on to the race start.
Sinking to the lobby. Set up for 45 minutes of action. Speedster and Carmenelis on the front row.
And they go
Someone
green.
jump start.
Awesome start from Racing at Home. On the outside by box down, and looks like Carmenelis has got the start. Aglater on the inside. And no contact by the looks of things. Carmenelis pulling ahead. Ben Gallagher up to P3.
What a start. Yeah.
Yeah, Aglater dropping all the way down. He must have contact Emmanuel here. I'm P5. Fending heavily from Toxic, who again makes another huge move. And on the inside, and there's contact. That's contact between Iro, Pacquiao, and Toxic. And Emmanuel holds up Toxic and Pacquiao. This is going to get exciting here. Onto the inside, switch back. Toxic gets bad exit. Oh, dear me. Barely keeps it ahead. Now he's stable in P7, but here comes the long straight. Be careful, there's a car behind you. And he runs wide, he runs wide. Oh, dear. His rear tyres must be toast at this point, and there's a car without front wing in background. And
is that Racing
Toxic.
At Home?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it's Racing Home. Yeah, bad start from him. And
yeah,
that must have
no
been,
front wing.
Yeah, contact at starter.
And Agulator, let's see. He's running fine. Just as I say that, he goes off the track.
Yeah, looks like he has a rear end damage to the rear
Maybe.
left. Yeah, I believe. Looking at how the car handles.
He's just letting off.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, he must have critical damage. But see, yeah, Carmenelis already putting a healthy lead here. Second, and close to a second ahead of Speedster.
Safety car.
Safety car. Yeah, safety car. That may be why Agalator was slowing down.
Yeah, oh yeah, and we race back to the line when a safety car is called. So I'm not sure if Agulator was slowing down because it was called, but actually, no, he's coming into the pits, that's why.
Yeah.
So he will be sent to the back, even though he already is last for pitting before, or yeah, pitting while the pit lane is closed for safety car.
Yeah. And let's see, Racing at Home needs to make a pit stop for a new front wing, so he will also drop further back. But good start from Carmenelis and Speedster. Carmenelis being able to jump Speedster on the start and got quite a good exit, didn't spin up his wheels and got that inside. Ben Gallagher though, man on the move up to P3 from I believe P8, so that's 5 positions in one start. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, fabulous start from him. And looking at Carmenelis, yeah, Carmenelis took the lead from Speedster. Yeah, Ben Gallagher moved up to 3rd place. I didn't even have any eyes on him. All of a sudden, you saw the word Ben up in P3, and I was quite shocked to say the least. But then after that is Iro, Damon, Emmanuel, Packer, and then Toxic with a time penalty. So is it 20 seconds? It is, because Toxic jumped the start. So that's going to cost him in the long run. But yeah, let's see the pit lane. Will we have any takers? Yep. We have Emmanuel.
One car, two cars in. Looks like that's Emmanuel, I
Just
believe.
Emmanuel.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Racing at Home going as well. No, 3 drivers in the pits. Racing at Home, Emmanuel, and
Yogurt and Racing at Home.
Yeah, Yogurt and Racing at Home. So this will be interesting. They can't fuel the cars to go to the end now, so they have to make another pit stop. But they can't pit for fresh tires, and if they gamble, they could even go on softer tires, red badge. But it looks like Emmanuel going on wets. Don't know what the number 7 car's gone on. Looks like wet as well.
Or racing at home. Fixing that front wing, obviously. Takes a while to repair these things.
It takes plenty of time.
Where's Agulator? He's coming up. Should be last anyway. But yeah. So 5 minutes into this race, we have the first safety car of the day to handle. Carmenellis leads, and it's Speedstep and Ben Gallagher. And then the two IRO guys, looks to be IRO Damon, then IRO Packer. So with 40 minutes left, this is how the grid order stands. And with one safety car on the board, I think we'll see another down the line. Maybe one after this restart is prompted. But, you know, for the time being, they're just trying to warm up the tires. And there's a possibility we could go this time by if everyone can catch up. Racing at home, if we turn the track map, there we go. There is, it's possible for Racing at home to catch up. Not sure about Agulator.
Agulator's too far behind. Even at full speed, he won't be able to catch up.
Yeah, so means... yeah. I don't even think Racing at home is there, so I think they'll do one more time.
Yeah.
Actually, I think he'll make it, just barely.
Yeah. Still that 3, 6.
I mean, Agulator may be able to make it if they go very late. They're weaving, yeah.
It's going to be a late call, yeah. Carmenellis warming up his tires. Let's see how it's roll there.
Yeah, so one more lap.
Yeah, one more lap.
So yeah, we saw this a couple times last week. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, for LMP3, we have not seen any safety cars yet after them being deployed for the past 2 weeks of racing. We have not had a single incident in LMP3s to where we prompt a safety car. However, this is a third safety car in Indycar after they've been officially announced for all series, all mandatory for every race. However, if I think we've had many before. We've had many at Long Beach, the Indy 250, and we've also had them at the Texas Oval race before. And I know we had a bunch for Texas Roval, and we had 2 last week for Imola. So today, this is the first safety car. There's a chance for a couple more to come out later in the race, but the rain should be easing up in a couple minutes now, so I think some of these guys are pitting for the dry tires, if I'm completely honest. I mean, that'd be a bold strategy call, but the rain should be easing up any minute now. It's still coming down, but not as much. So this safety car did time itself quite well. I mean, being on the wet tires now under safety car is completely fine because, again, you're not racing anyone. As long as you could keep those tires heated, you should be fine for a start. And as long as once the safety car is in, the track isn't as wet or it stops raining, there is a good possibility. It's a bold call. I don't think anybody's going to do it, but it is a possibility of something that the drivers could have done. But yeah. Should be good.
If there is a safety car now, they need to pit for dries because it's going to rain for about 5 more minutes, and these tires dissipate all the water so quickly.
At most.
So they have to go in and pit for soft, unless you get absolutely blown away. Because these softs, all the wets, they blister instantly, even in...
Oh, hold on a second. Ben Gallagher's 25 liters of fuel. Everyone else has 60. I'm not sure what Ben Gallagher's trying to do. I just noticed that on the Speedo, but as we get ready to go, just know that Ben Gallagher's going to have to pit a longer time for fuel. Not sure if that's a miscalculation.
Goes.
Yeah, but we're green.
Looks like Ben Gallagher's going for a 2-stop. As there's a move for P3 there.
Oh,
and
contact
between Ben Gallagher and I believe that's Iro Packer. I'm not sure. But Ben Gallagher is still trying to hold around the outside. There's 2 cars without wings there. Ben Gallagher on the inside. Oh, that's close.
They keep it going.
Wing. Yeah, another car without front wing. Looks clean though.
I think it's both cars are missing end plates. Yeah, they are. Oh, contact. That's Matt.
Ow.
Matt has gotten hit from the behind.
Yeah, manual off track as well. Oh dear. Agulator in P12 trying to look for that move. Just wait and see. There's a car without a complete front wing. Who's that?
Yeah, they do have complete front wings, which surprises me, or at least partial front wings. Yeah, oh, Yogurt doesn't have a front wing now.
Yeah. He's taking it easy, just letting the drive spot on the inside there. Not really pushing it.
Surprised some guys haven't been able to get by yet.
Yeah, holding up manual there.
Let's see.
Well. Bengali on the inside. Yeah, he needs to pit now, he knows.
Actually, it stopped raining, by the way. It has stopped raining! There goes Race
And
Get
this
Home!
car off this. Oh, he barely keeps it on track. And there's one car in, three cars in, one cycling really late. That's Bengali.
Reconnected.
And Yoga. Yeah. That's late cycle there.
Cannot believe they almost made contact again entering the pits. That was so close.
Yeah, but now these drivers will be on softs, and the rest don't look to be planning a stop due to the heavy fuel loads.
10-second penalty for Iro Damon speeding entering the pits.
Oh dear, that's going to cost him in the long run. Iro Damon putting in a bit of fuel, and looks. Are they slowing down?
Tiger Kart's disconnected.
Oh, it's a safety car. It's a safety car. So that means that the bottom three here gets effectively a free pit stop. That's going to be nasty for the rest of the drivers there.
Yeah. I'm surprised another safety car was called. I mean, only one car was off. I mean, a couple of cars made contact, but it could have been from that mat contact with Yogurt. That could have been it.
Yeah. Now we had 3 drivers here on softs, and the remainder of the grid here are on wets. I do believe... Are the pits open now? No, I believe. So
we can check. Yeah, they're at the final corner. Pit should be open this time.
Okay, let's see here.
There is still spray. The track's still wet, but safety car is going to be out for around 5 minutes at most. So we'll see. Should be enough. And actually, you do still see some rain falling. And surprisingly, nobody has decided to fit the dry tires.
Ooh, that's going to be... Bengali here might pull off the... And Racing at Home goes in.
Again, he's pitted.
Yeah, along with Faglater. So... With the current standings here...
Yeah, looks like Yogurt,
Bengali, Racing at Home, Agalator, and Paki CP11, I believe, will net have soft tires, and they will have far more pace as soon as they go green, as long as they're able to maintain the temperature, and especially the rear tires. That should not be too difficult with these cars.
It's a possibility, and I just noticed on my screen. For some reason, Yogurt is floating, for some reason on my screen. Like, floating above the track while he's going. I'm not sure if you're seeing that.
Yogurt alien. Nah, I can't see it. Yeah, you can see the track is drying out pretty quickly. See, there's plenty of spray coming off, but it's going to dry up, and Yogurt drops behind Gallagher.
I think he's letting him by. I'm not sure. I mean, when you do lose pace on our safety car, the car behind you can't pass if that is the case, and I think that was, but never mind. He's just gotten back up in front. So I want to look at everybody's fuel. Ben did pit. Now he has 33.2 liters, so I think he's trying to keep as little fuel in that car as possible, because he's trying to guess how much time will be spent under safety car, and I think he's trying to be very, very risky with this one. Try and gain as much points on Carmenelis as he can, but he's a race leader. We're entering through the final corner, and we're still waiting for Agulator to catch up. I think he'll catch the tail end of the field just fine.
Oh, that's going to be close. He does.
He'll be fine. Yep, Agulator's caught up.
Yeah, so they're Micro Green here, most likely, yeah.
I'm not sure who is... That's Toxic pulled off. Are we gonna go?
You can follow. Looks like.
I don't think so.
Oh, this is horrible for the wet weather tires here.
What was that?
Now they're removing all of the water for the dry tire runners behind.
Oh.
So they need to pit as soon as possible. If they run out the fuel though with wet tires, they're going to lose 20 seconds on track after they've been overtaken, probably. Yeah. Before they have to make another pit stop. So as long as the dry tire runners are able to make it cleanly up toward the top of the field, they should be able to have quite a good shot at dominating this race.
Oh yeah, just looking. Speedster back in second. A lot of these guys should be good on fuel. And then you look at Ben Gallagher, who does have 31.7 liters now. I'm looking around the field. Everyone is in their 50s. Aguilator has 6. Aguilator's actually moved up to 8th, so I'm not sure if these guys either pitted or let him by, but Aguilator was last lap, so I have no clue how he's got himself up to 8th place. There's Racing at Home, then Emmanuel in 2nd. I think they were not 2nd, but in 6th place there. Then Matt is in 5th. 4th is Iro Packer. Should be good this time. I think just the grid order wasn't correct, so I think they spent a lap fixing it. I think that was the reason for the delay, but we have 30 minutes left in this race. 15 minutes have been gone, and this track is drying up quite quickly, and I think some guys are going to try and stay on the wet tires as we get ready to go racing again, as the final 10 minutes of this race should be in the rain again. Can they keep it on the wets for that long? We'll find out. Carmenalis leads us to the green.
Speeds are looking fast there, but that's Toxic's behind, and he doesn't make a move. But looking further behind, there's a free wide moment, and there's no contact by the looks of things. And there's a car wide, that's Aguilator. Aguilator going wide. He's on
trying to take an onboard view. Ben Gallagher up the inside.
Ooh, Ben Gallagher on the move.
Good move,
that's
good move.
At home, done. So now on to the next driver here.
Oh,
Emmanuel,
boy!
And he's off, oh dear me. That looks like it was a puddle there.
No contact, we're good.
Oh dear, that was close. That's especially nasty because that's an acceleration zone, and it's not that wide there. You can't really fit a car and a car standing on standing 90 degrees to the track. We see drivers are making huge improvements in the lap time, 3 seconds ahead on the best lap, and Carmenalis here comes out to
There's no spray.
Lap.
There's no spray throughout the middle of that final corner. As you climb up the hill, there's some spray, and then it kicks back up as you get on the straight. I think they're trying to find that dry line at this point. I mean, it's beneficial to try and find it, and I think some guys are trying to head into the pits, maybe? Yeah, that's Ben Gallagher.
Yeah. Oh, dear. So Ben Gallagher, notorious for having oddball strategies, sometimes working in his way. We saw especially at Road America, he was one of the first pioneers of running a 2-stops. But sadly that didn't work out that race, but he's known for trying different things to others. This will be interesting here. Some drivers are trying to pull off the racing line just to get better spray on the tires to heat them up.
Oh boy!
Ben Gallagher nearly does a half spin.
Got a little excited.
Yeah, a little bit happy. He puts on the wets. That's an interesting choice.
I was thinking he spun midway through the pits. I was thinking, okay, they probably put the dries on and he kicked up on the puddles, but no, he put on a set of wet tires. And let's check on board with everyone else. Let's see what they're running. So you have wets. Everyone is on the wets. Everyone is on the wets. Speedsta was weaving there for a second. I think he's just trying to kick up some puddles onto his tires. Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to kick up puddles on their tires to keep them cool.
Yeah. That's not going to work too long. I have done this before.
Yep. We both of us have done it.
10 minutes. Yeah. This is not going to be fun for the wider runs there. We'll see the drivers with different setups there. The more wing angle they have, the more nice they'll be to the tires, but this doesn't look good for the front tires especially.
Yeah, like I said, we both of us drove like this at Season 4. Sugo, as what a move from Racing at Home on the inside of Toxic.
And Emmanuel behind, looking rather feisty for the two of them. Racing at Home lacking that straight line speed.
He doesn't have the straight line speed, but he keeps the inside, as Toxic may run wide. No, he just keeps that on the track, though.
Looks like the curbs are getting dry as well. This isn't good. All of the drivers, and now Toxic out wide, barely not hitting the grass there. That would have been a big crash. Speeds is in the pits. Oh dear me, what's going to happen now? What tires does it pit on? That is the question.
Let's see, we have a battle right here. Emmanuel up the inside.
Ooh, and his contact.
End plate is gone.
Toxic loses his front wing. Oh, part of his front wing, yeah. Oh dear. Speedster.
Wet tires. I think it may be a glitch. I think it's just showing wet tires for everybody, but...
No, I believe he's going to the end on this. Looking at his fuel, he should in theory be able to do it. It's going to be a bit of stretch, but in theory possible. And nearly free wide there. Yogurt hitting up the rear end of Toxic. Finally getting past around the outside.
He's just trying to find a way around.
Yeah, front right end plate just knocked off. That's going to be difficult. Agulator also is just tumbling down the order here.
Let's see, Ben Gallagher is still last. Not many people have been using their push to pass, as you can see. A lot of people have 9 or 10. Agulator hasn't used any yet. I think it's just people have been cautious on the wet conditions. Here's a manual.
Yeah, Commentless in the pits. Commentless in the pits.
It's down to 43 liters. He still has tons. He could even try and make it to the end, but I think this is going to be a tire change. Let's see.
Yeah, looks like that's wet.
It's shocking.
But, yeah, and I think the slicks in front there as well. But it only ran for about 10, 13 more minutes now. So, and oh dear, he hits the wall going out of the bits.
I think what these guys are going to try and do is, while it stopped raining, they're going to try and find the wet line on the track. A Speedster has gotten the undercut on Carmentalist.
Oh dear.
That's by good, hefty margin.
Yeah, he does have 1 lap less of fuel, but he should be able to make it to the end quite comfortably on that. And also look at Ben Gallagher's lap time, 1:07.6. That's 4 seconds ahead of P1 at the moment. And the whole... Oh, the Speedster has yet to do a full lap now.
Alright, so let's see Packer here. Off the final corner. Will he dodge into the pits? Yes, he will.
Oh. All the drivers are jumping into the pits now.
Matt stays out. Racing at Home stays out. They pitted, remember, under one of the safety cars.
Yeah. But Ben Gallagher here having supreme pace over the rest of the field. This doesn't look good.
Quite curious to see if their plan is to stick it to the end, as Matt almost runs off the track.
Yeah, they're having real struggles there with the front end. Trying to turn in, but they're just sliding out. Looks like they're trying to find a good balance.
Packers away.
Yeah, Speedster now with the fastest lap of 1:07.6 flat. No, 1:07 flat. So that's... Oh dear, that's going to be close.
Ben has jumped Packer. Speedster's already through that final... that corner there where Carmentalist is 2 corners behind. Agulator's right in front. Agulator pitted multiple times under the safety car, so he does have that advantage, and I don't think he's going to try pitting. I think he's good till the end. Damon, on the other hand, I'm not sure about him. And here's Matt.
Doesn't have enough fuel.
Matt, I think it's just gotten past.
Yeah.
But Matt's in.
Matt pits, quite slow there on entry.
That'll cost him some time.
Yeah. Precious seconds.
Let's see, Agulator and Speedster. Agulator's holding up Speedster here. Will he try and defend? No, he will not. He'll give him the inside in turn 1. He wants to avoid contact, like what happened to Damon previously, but he's going to re-emerge right on track there. Not sure if that's an illegal re-entry on track, but we'll find out. He lets him back by.
Yep. And nope, not really.
I wouldn't say that's a cheap move, just going by the physics of the game. Tells you to return the position. You have the line to make sure you get the position back as soon as you give it to him. So yeah, that's what gets Speedster up to P3. After that, IRO Damon is in P2. And remember, Damon does have that 10-second penalty, while Toxic has that 20-second penalty for jumping the start.
If Speedster is on wets, he should be in the net race lead at the moment.
Oh, Toxic Damon.
Oh, close. Because Damon has a penalty and Racing at Home is not lapping quickly. Round the outside, that's going to be difficult.
It's going to hold him up there.
Oh, to the grass. And let's see who has the best straight line here.
Clearly,
using a push to pass. Yeah, he uses a
push
to pass.
Boy! No!
Contact! Damon massively missing his braking, so sliding into Speedster.
Yep, and Carmentalist loves to see this as Agulator just lets him back by. And he's reeling in Speedster, and I think he may have some damage too. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, looks like there was damage to front right suspension. We'll see on his pace there. Yeah, he's a bit off apex. That may just be a small mistake, but it could be critical to his race. Actually, Speedster slowed down quite a lot that lap.
Meanwhile, Racing at Home is coming up on lap traffic.
Hopes to get past there clean. As we see, the track is completely dry. There's only water in places where the cars normally don't go. The drivers have stopped going on search for the rain here. Right there.
See, Damon's a lot slower. I think he may have some damage too.
Yeah, he has damage to the left side of the car. Left side pod. Jumps into the pits as well.
Yep.
Speedster, yeah, Speedster has lost a lot of lap time. It's lost 2 seconds of lap time.
Well,
Carmentis has, understandably dropped back a bit because he's closing up to Speedster, but this looks interesting. He's catching at a rate of 2 seconds a lap on Racing at Home. We have about 17, 18 laps. Yeah. Oh dear.
Carmenelis is on his best lap. So is Speedster. Quite surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Speedster's pulling away or not from Carmenelis. I think just because that battle, Carmenelis was able to gain a couple seconds, but now I think Speedster's trying to pull away, and it is working in some cases through corners, through certain corners on the circuit. You're seeing Speedster pull away by a couple tenths, and look at that, the gap is truly exceeded from what we saw the previous lap, and now Carmenelis lost on the final sector alone.
Speedster pulling away here, 106.7. I believe that's the first 106 we see in this race.
Interesting, so he does have the pace.
Yeah, getting ahead of Toxic there. Bad traffic. He's only 3.5 seconds behind Racing at Home. This is not good for Racing at Home, because he knows Speedster can go to the end. And it started raining again. It has started raining again.
Oh, that is good for the guys all in the wets trying to find some grip.
Yeah. 2.7 is catching an alarming right here. What sort of strategy is Racing at Home running?
Let's see. I mean, Racing at Home, he's on 38 liters, so he has a lighter tank, should mean a faster car, but he is still getting caught up on. Those tires are a lot older too, so expect the pace to be down, but Speedster, he's trying to push the car to the limits. Remember, Speedster here last season in GT3s, he didn't get the best of luck. Same with Racing at Home. Racing at Home didn't even race in these conditions last season, as Carmenelis is in the pits. It's quite shocking.
We're running softs, yeah. Oh, dries.
Well, I must have known that it was going to come again. I'm just quite surprised with everything going on that he has to pit again.
This is going to be interesting. You can't tough it out on wets or dries for the last 15 minutes. You'll lose so much pace just because it's been out all the time. So, this is going to be close.
And championship leader has fallen down to 7th place because of everything going on, and here's Speedster right on the back of Racing at Home. I know Racing at Home is going to try and give him a challenge. Obviously not the best of friends in the league, so they're going to give each other what it takes to get back by. He's going to try the inside.
No! Patience, patience. Oh dear, that's going to cause a bit of controversy here. Using a pusher pass to make sure that pass goes ahead. Racing at Home still with 9 pusher passes left. He has 4 more than Speedster. But that was quite a late move there, wasn't it, Alan?
That was risky, for sure. I thought that was going to end in tears. And quite luckily, both cars are still intact with all 4 tires on each, with a front wing and a rear wing. They're all intact, luckily. So that is Speedster by. He saw an opportunity, and he said, I have to go for it. And he went for it. There was a gap, very small, but he went for it.
Yeah, that was barely a cut with. He had to go plenty on the curb there. But looks like it's working out for him. That was a solid move that was.
I'm trying to see. Well. I want to rewatch that move on stream. That was so close to call there.
Looks like it was contact. Let's see here.
Yeah, on our screen there was contact.
Yeah, there was contact between Speedster, but this game has, well, bit of transmission lag, but it looks, yeah. Racing at Home actually was, I don't think he expected him to be there. You can see that.
Oh boy.
Oh, Agulator off. Yeah, but looks, to me it looks like Racing at Home wasn't expecting it in the slightest, because it started turning back in to get to his apex.
Turn back out, yeah.
Yeah, but he then all of a sudden a wild speedster appeared on the inside, and Ben Gallagher's in the pit as well in P3.
Oh, and
there's a car without a wheel. That's IRO.
Oh my goodness!
There. Oh, what's happened here? And Ben Gallagher's missed the pits box as well. Oh, and another car struggling with suspension.
Wrong pit there. Wrong pit as well.
This is going to cost them quite a lot of time.
And Carmenelis is back up to 4th, and I expect Yogurt to be pitting any time now.
Yogurt has the fuel though to make it to the end.
But I'm not sure if he's on the right tires. I just expected, you know, that one big group to come back in. It could be an upset podium for Yogurt returning to IndyCar to get a podium. It's very, very possible.
Oh dear. This looks exciting. Racing at Home ahead of Speedster now. What? Racing at Home in the pits, but there's something's gone on.
Speedster's in the pits as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's close. He gets a penalty. Speedster gets a penalty.
10 seconds. There you go. That's handed any chance of the win down to Racing at Home. And where's Yogurt? Yogurt's rounding the final corner. Is he going to come in the pits?
If he's able to, if he's, he has.
Yeah, he has to.
Into bits. Yeah.
Slow down. Nope. Barely made
it. Barely does it.
How about Carmenelis? He's rounding the final corner. Racing at Home is exiting the pits. So is Speedster. He's out. So Carmenelis, I don't think he's going to get him.
I think he's going to get Speedster.
Yeah, barely. Just barely. No, he does not.
That's interesting. So now all drivers are on wets, realizing, but Racing at Home was on softs there for a period of time, and quite bad luck up there for Carmenelis. Don't want to flat spot new tyres.
Matt's up to 4th.
Yeah, 4 drivers with penalties. And we've seen, especially the IRO drivers, jumping up and down field.
It's been crazy.
Excellent start from P6 and P7, but now one's P6 and the other's P9. Agulator, the biggest loser here by the looks of things, from P4 to P8.
Do you think Speeds is going to try and push to make a move again with 13 minutes remaining? Again, a lot of these guys do have push to pass to use. Racing at Home just used his 3rd of the race. Or 2nd, I mean, and he still has 8 more left to use in 13 minutes.
Yeah, I just don't know if Speedster has... I mean, it was a 3 or 4 tenth gap in qualifying, but that's quite a tall order. There's only about 10 laps remaining, 10 11 laps. So that means... Oh, and he is actually catching quite a fair bit. But this... Oh, it's too close to call at the moment. No, he's a second off the lap time there. On the outlap at least. And Agulator off again. That's bad luck.
Alright, let's just stick with Speedster here. Speedster is gaining.
Both Racing at Home and Speedster putting on full tanks. That's an interesting strategy choice.
I'm quite surprised. Yeah, I think they just had it set over from the last pit stop. I don't think they changed it at all. That's all.
Yeah. But, Speedster doesn't look really comfortable in the current conditions right now in the transitioning, because he's taking a lot of curbs.
Yeah.
But he's also missing apexes, so that's critical for him to just settle down and get to work on that lap time.
Yep. Shout out to our friend John Dog, watching all the way from Australia, sometime in the morning for him, cheering on Go Raw for Racing at Home, who continues to lead. That gap is almost to 5 seconds. I think Racing at Home is actually true. I don't know, every sector it's different, but it's within the 4-second margin. It's pretty close, and I don't think it's been gaining that much.
Half a second last lap for Speedster he gained, so he's only down to about 4-second gap now with 10 laps remaining. This will get interesting. There's still time for a safety car, but it's quite close to call.
Yeah, 11 minutes left. He's actually caught up to within the 3-second margin now. So he is reeling in, not by much, but even if he gets close to Racing at Home, I think his objective is just to finish ahead of him just by pace.
Yeah.
He does want those bragging rights. But I'm still surprised. How did Racing at Home get back ahead of Speedster? I still don't know.
I think what happened was either Speedster went off or there was a penalty, because it was quite a significant. Also, there was 5 seconds, I believe, between them.
Possibly.
I didn't notice it at first, but it most likely spin and maybe even stall the engine.
Maybe.
Indycar engines are notorious for not starting too quickly. And another 4/10 gain there. So Speedster getting closer, but not at a quick enough rate.
Let's see. Do we have a battle going on at all? We do not. Just making sure. But yeah, up to 3/10 again.
2 drivers have dropped out of the race. But looking back at... Yeah.
Is that toxic?
Yeah, looks like it's toxic, yeah. No TTG. But by looking back at the start of the race, I didn't really not expect this result, with Ben Gallagher jumping from P8 to P3 and now it's down to P7 again. So it's a
roller coaster.
Yeah. Up and down. Racing at Home, first lap he was down to P11 or P12 without a front wing. And he's managed to claw his way back up. So he's made the right moves at least.
Almost running wide on the grass there.
Yeah, using all the track there. Using a push pass as well, he's pushing now.
Yep, he's using that push to pass. He has 4 left after this one with 9 minutes left.
And oh, that's a that's another 4-10 increase for Speedster. So it looks like Speedster has the pace, but he's just blundered up the strategy a bit.
I think it's just speeding the pits has cost him. I feel like he could overtake Racing at Home at the very end, but that 10-second penalty is just going to stay there because he sped into the pits, and that's on him. 10-second penalty for Speedster. Actually, that means Carmelis is going to get second place no matter what.
Yeah, he just has to keep it clear now, and he should be able to get P2.
Yep, it'll be close.
Yeah. If Speedster really puts in a strong push now, he might be able to open up a gap that's 10 seconds long. He has already a 6-second gap, and he's gaining with about a second a lap, so in theory possible, but it's going to be difficult, especially because he's going to approach Racing at Home and they're going to battle for sure.
Let's see, as he climbs a hill, now he's closer than he was as he's ever been in this.
One more.
Flag spike there. I thought I disconnected there for a second. We're all good. We're all good.
Yeah. And look all the dirt on track as well. There's been tons of dirt, especially in the first sector.
Yeah, it's probably from spins throughout the entire day.
Yeah.
You know, the spins that we've had on some of the restarts that we've had with the safety car. Some people are going off, merging back on. That dirt gets kicked up on the track, and then it rains. So yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, you don't really notice it at first, but when you get to critical pace, that you do notice that just slowing you down. You lose a bit of traction. Having to brake there a bit as well.
Yeah.
Missing a bit of apex. So as we go up the hill yet more, Racing at Home laps in at 12.3, Speedster 11.5, so it's still 8 tenths or thereabouts. So it's closing up quite rapidly. Carmentis is actually dropping back. The Speedster is actually pushing for P2.
Good possibility, yeah. I mean, yeah, he could push on for P2 with that 10-second penalty. It's just Carmelis is going to keep up somewhat of the pace.
There's a fight for P6 as well. And it's a freeway fight actually between Ben Gallagher, Iro, and Agalator.
Look at that, yeah.
And Agalator taking a bit of... Yeah, that happens when he touches the grass.
Yep.
Getting a bit too greedy. But it's rather close there. He might be looking for a move.
No, I think Ben Gallagher was 7th, so I think he got by Damon.
Yeah. Oh dear. So Ben Gallagher again on the move. And our Damon out wide, so that means Aglater will close back up, and the side by side going into turn 4, and
Switchback.
Aglater
Nope.
gets past. Looks like Damon has front wing damage.
Maybe, somewhat.
Yeah, and Damon actually with more than enough speed through there. Aglater outbraking him, but it looks like Damon has more pace. And Speedster has a bad lap, 1:14.2 to Racing Home's 12:3.
Interesting, yeah.
So that may have been a small off for a penalty, but it's only about 2.5 seconds separating.
Oh,
them
11-second penalty now, so he's gotten a slowdown. He's got to keep 11-second gap to Carmenelis to keep second place.
That's going to be difficult for sure. He has a 7-second gap, but building up a gap in these conditions is quite a difficult task because you're pushing, but you can't push all the way like in the drive because you have to take into the conditions into calculations. So
I'm looking ahead. Ben Gallagher is storming on to Yogurt, who is holding P5 at the moment. Matt isn't too far ahead.
Though. So that's going to be a grenade move, if anything. And comment is that drops even further behind. Now it's 11 seconds behind Racing at Home. And if Speedster is able to close up, which it looks like he has the pace to do, he laps consistently half a second quicker than Racing Home, he should be able to get P2. It's going to be difficult here. And he runs off, he runs wide. That may be a penalty, which will only hold his advance.
Yeah, so at the moment, less than 5 minutes remain. Racing at Home holds the forefront of this pack. Carmenelis back in third. Speedster is second, but with that time penalty, could put him in third. Matt is in fourth. Fifth is Yogurt, getting caught up by Ben Gallagher, who's actually lost some time to Yogurt. Then it is Agulator, Damon, Packer, and then Emmanuel. Just trying to watch Speeds' on boards. He's nailing every corner. He's reeling in Racing at Home. It's going to be closer as he's ever been before.
Yeah, but he's pushing a bit too hard here. You see him having to let go there and gear down.
He had to downshift there as he climbed up.
So that looks like he really wants... No, that's a 4/10 or 3.5 gain there. He really wants to move ahead of Racing at Home and get that P2. But he might be pushing too hard there. He's overdriving the tyres. Yeah, touching the grass on the entry, and that just gives him understeer going into the mid corner, and that doesn't help. And he takes plenty of curb as well.
Yeah, he hooks on the curb, and yeah, there we go. 8-second gap. Carmenelis is kicking it up a little bit, or just Racing at Home has made a mistake as well with Speedster.
Yeah, Carmenelis being able to lap up round about the same pace as Racing at Home. The Speedster in I wouldn't say a class of his own, but with more pace on the wet than the rest of the drivers.
Trying to see here, Ben Gallagher, then Agulator. Ben Gallagher is still gaining on Yogurt, but not by much.
He was a 8/10 gain, 8/10 effectively to 8/10 gain that last lap, but weird. And Racing at Home has used up all his racing push to passes with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Speedster has 3.
Yeah, so that's 3 laps remaining. That's going to be quite a hard push from Speedster as he laps close to half a second slower than Racing at Home that lap, not using a push to pass. I think the race has been blown with that penalty he got and slowed down.
Yeah.
I think Speedster blew the race. He might have had a chance, but with that pit entry and then a few bad incidents or off tracks, that means he might not get it. With Ben Gallagher getting within the second of Yogurt, P6 for P5. And now Speedster's trying to push now. He uses a push to pass there in the second sector to third. That's a odd place to use it.
He must have used on the back straight.
Yeah. And he has another push to pass ready here as well.
Yeah, it's 2 more.
So will he use it, or will he try to focus on... He doesn't. Laps. Oh, 3 tenths. 4 tenths. Quicker, but that's not enough at the moment. He has 2 more laps remaining. If Racing Home decides to dial it down, but he doesn't really have the gap to do that. But Bengal again looking feisty. And cameraman doing the work on the grass, locking up the left front. Oh, that's crazy. That's dangerous. Yoga blocking his line.
Contact!
And plate on. Aglater.
It's a shame.
Yeah, Aglater will get that position now.
I mean, he could try and hang on, but yeah, it's unfortunate. Just park the bus there in that corner. And Agulator's going to try and go the long way around.
Oh, there's not a lot of grip out there, but Agulator gets it done.
Almost went off. Almost.
Yeah, that's a scary place to put a move on.
Yep.
But he does get it done, and there's...
Yeah, Ben's going to have to stay out. There's no way I'd pit at this stage of the race. They're on the final lap now.
There might be another one. We'll see. If you watch Racing at Home here.
Oh, actually, yeah.
There'll be another lap.
Yep, one more lap.
Yeah, and... Oh, look at the gap from Racing at Home to Car Mentalist. That's 13 seconds. What's the penalty for
happened?
Speedster? Was it 11?
I mean, Speeds is going to be able to keep his spot.
Yeah. Unless Car Mentalist puts on an absolute charge here on the last lap.
Yeah, unless Speeds spins. Yeah, definitely. And look at that. Gap has been closest it's ever been in this stint, like we keep saying. It's been going and going. He has one more push to pass. I feel like he's going to use it on this back straightaway. It's the last straightaway, really, that you can fully use it on. So off the corner, gets a good exit, gets himself trying to find the wet lining. Yes, he's used it on the back straightaway.
Just trying to get that gap. He might just be able to do it. Car Mentalist also has to push the pass. And gets a bit squirmy on the exit there. That's not great, especially when you have that extra power on the mount. Oh dear. Ben Gallagher falling down to P8, but all eyes are on Racing at Home. Taking the win in the wet at Sugo.
Yep, Carmentalist has that 11-second gap. We'll keep an eye on that in just a moment. As he climbs up the hill, flashes the rear light, weaves across the line. It's Racing at Home that wins it. The IndyCar Series at Sugo. Speeds across the line. How about Carmentalist climbing on board here?
Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close.
He's got to use a push pass, use them all up.
Speedster P2.
Barely.
Speedster
just
P2.
Barely.
That's going to be close. That's down to tenths of a second. And Ben Gallagher, as I said, moved down to PA. He's been dropping far behind, and Agulator just moving ahead. Agulator getting ahead of a car that doesn't have a front or rear wing. That's Emmanuel. Wow, that's going to be a tough build as well for Speedster there. Could have won that race, but didn't happen, sadly.
Yep, as they climb
also
up the
Ben
hill.
Gallagher.
Yeah, 6 liters there.
Ben Gallagher, one of the...
Oh my goodness, oh my.
At the start.
Well,
interesting,
Damon,
to say the least.
Yep. Damon crosses the line, finds a way up in the air.
Makes a complete somersault. That's a 10 out of 10 from the judges.
Ben Gallagher's going to come across the line. He'll pick up P8 with half of a front wing. And that's going to be it for the race. So those are the results, ranging from a 1-stop to a 4-stop for some of these guys. It is Racing at Home, Speedster, Carmentalist, Matt, Yogurt, Agulator, Damon, Ben Gallagher, Packer, Emmanuel, Beast, Hot, and then Toxic. And we also had Tiger Kart in the race, and he did not finish.
You see the gap there between Speedster and Carmentalist. It was about 2 seconds, so he did actually have a bit to go on. But it's still close, nonetheless. And looking back at the race, Alan, what do you think from the start to finish? Any surprises? Any unexpected incidents?
I mean, looking at the top 3, Racing at Home did an extra pit stop and won. And he didn't even start on the front row either. So I think that just, shows enough how much skill he showed today and how much of it was just down to the raw pace. It really went into the hands of Racing at Home, pitting effectively, and even pitting in extra time. It still worked out for him.
Yeah, and keep in mind here that he started the first lap. By the start of the second lap, he didn't have a front wing and he had to pit. So he made quite a move, but looking at P4 there, it was Matt. He made from the last position on the grid up to P4, and that's quite an impressive gain, 8 positions.
Yep.
So he was truly on the move that race, keeping it clean and making moves all race long.
Yeah. Let's see if we can check the replay. It's not letting me. We'll see. Oh, yeah. Want to get in some driver interviews?
Yes, we can. Well, who do you want?
Let's start out with Racing Home.
Yeah, I'll fetch Racing Home.
In fact, we're going to start by watching the replay from the beginning. See if there's any contact you want to watch from that first start we had.
Yep. I believe Racing Home was without a front wing. So we'll take that nice and slow and get a good overview of what happened. And as Racing Home, winner of the race, joins the party. Welcome.
What do you want?
Alright, so first question we have is, the top 3 on the podium, you had Carmenalist and Speedstep pitting twice. You pitted 3 times and still came out in front. How did you use those pit stops? What was that?
I paid for fuel under both yellows. Well, I paid for damage under the first one.
Yeah, so we're watching...
I wouldn't have lost anything with the second one.
Yeah. So we're watching right now, actually on stream, the replay of the very start of the race, where you start P3, right? You got a good start at first, and then you ran into the back of Speedster.
Yep, I know. And then I backed out, and then Angulator appeared.
There you go, yeah. I didn't even see Angulator spin.
He was hit by someone.
Emmanuel.
I don't know who it was. Was it?
Yeah,
So
Emmanuel.
Of course it was!
So we're riding on board Emmanuel now in turn 1. Yep. Front's locked up. Yeah, that was a late lunge. Late lunge indeed. Reminiscent of last week.
To be fair, Ben was on the inside and was just able to pass all of us to get to the podium.
Yeah, we saw that. He got such a good start.
It was basically how Bathurst was last season. I don't know if Crusher knows what happened to Bathurst last season.
No idea. Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
You know, it was like when the inside opened up massively and I was on the outside and I got massively shunted from behind. I think there was an upside down car as well.
All right, so let's get on with another question for our race winner, right? So towards the end of the race, Speedster got by you in a very questionable move. Was there any contact?
There was, and it's a stupid move, and I called him stupid for it. Well, not very wise. And then he said how he wanted to try and pass me on track even with his 11-second penalty. That was funny.
Yep, that's what we figured. He wanted the bragging rights.
I don't care about his fucking bragging rights. If he had got me, if he had got near me, I'd have just let him go. I mean, he's a stupid kid.
Well, that is one way to put it from a race winner.
If that's any shock to anyone, I don't know who it is. I don't know what you'd be on about, to be honest.
Yep. Crusher, any questions?
I don't know what you think.
No, not really for me. Good race all around.
I mean, in real life, he'd have shoved me off into the wall and he'd have gotten a drive-through for it. But because the contact physics in this game aren't that great, I somehow got away with it.
Yeah. Then we're lucky using the mechanics of the game.
And one more thing. So, while that Speedster did get by you, a couple laps later you guys came in for pit stops and you were the leader. What happened with Speedster? Did he end up spinning and you got by, or?
He spun, yep. I definitely enjoyed that. That was great fun to watch.
Yeah, we did not catch that, so that's why I wanted to ask.
I was planning on not changing tyres and I hoped to get ahead of him, but didn't need to.
Alright. Well, that is our race winner. Racing home, back on top of the top step podium today after not getting points the last several rounds, so congratulations.
I didn't start last race. I didn't start the race before that. Every race I actually
we know, we got it on stream. But congratulations. Alright, so our race winner, not in the best of mood, but we'll bring in the opponent of those collisions, Speedsta. If you want to send him an invite, Speedsta25.
Net, like a carboner.
So I'm really curious to ask about the moves that he made on Racing at Home. We knew that was going to draw some criticism from Racing at Home himself, but, you know, that's bound to happen. Let's speed this replay up. It's gonna get dizzy just watching him weave on the straight there. But yeah, it was a good race overall. I enjoyed watching it. I mean, a lot of action on track. There was a lot of contact, and because of it, we saw a lot of front wing end plates just, you know, splatter on the track. But we have our runner-up joining us, just barely ahead of Carmentalist. So we do know that 10-second penalty came from speeding into the pits, but let's fast forward all the way to the end. When you did get by Racing at Home, he said that there was contact. What about for you on your screen?
Oh, what a move, Alan. What a move. I swear that might be one of the best of my career. I mean, I knew he was on, at least, I was assumed he was on wets. But either way, I knew he had no grip because I was catching him by like a second lap. So I saw him go into the final corner. He ran out wide a little bit, and there's just this gap opened up. You know, as the great Ayrton Senna once said, if you no longer go for a gap, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you are no longer a racing driver. Man, I went for that gap. And, you know, it was risky, yeah, sure, it was a little risky, and, you know, it was up to him whether or not we were going to crash or not, but, you know,
well, okay, I will say, it's up to both drivers, because if you didn't make the move...
by that point I was already there, and if he wanted to turn in on me, he could have, but he turned away. I didn't feel any contact on my screen. I just sent it up the inside, pressed the push to pass button to get a little bit of extra overspeed on him, and I just made the move down the straight after I went up the inside. So I don't know, that was really thrilling. That was awesome, and I just really enjoyed that. I don't know. One of the best moves of my career, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, okay, what you are seeing now on screen is contact between Damon and Ben Gallagher on the the first safety car restart. But yeah, the move that you were referring to is what happened towards the end, and what you did say, I'm going to take you back to what you said. It was down to Racing at Home whether or not you guys crashed, but again, you could have said, well, if you didn't make the move, then there would have been low risk in that incident. So,
well, guess what? We both were pointed the right way down the straight, and no one had damage. So
yep, and that's good. That's good. Nobody got damage from it.
He was complaining that real life, blah blah blah, would have been in the wall. Well, you know what? He's just being a bit of a crybaby, and honestly, my opinion, like, you know, it is what it is. I made the move stick, regardless of my methods. People in this league always like to yell at me for my aggressive methods, but you know what? It is what it is. I thoroughly enjoyed that overtake and the race today as well, which was awesome. Just a great race, really, honestly. Very fun. Between the fights with Aiden and the fights with Jake, you know. Oh, that was one for the memory books, that's for sure.
Right. All right. Any other questions from Crusher?
Yeah. So, Speedster. Oh, dear me. We saw quite an interesting strategy from you. With, I believe, you moving to... Was it double wets or was it softs?
No, they were the ultimates, which are the softs.
Oh, yeah. Do you mind explaining your thought behind going on the softs, of course, having a dry track, but knowing you need to do another pit stop?
Well, regardless of safety cars or not, I was planning on going onto slicks, doing a two-stop. Safety. So we had two safety cars in the beginning, and by the time we had gone to the ends of the first safety car period, or the second safety car period, it had stopped. Like, it was beginning to stop raining, but I still felt that the track needed a few minutes to dry out, and I wasn't really ready to go onto slicks. And I also didn't really want to go onto the wet tires because previously with Aiden, I had been losing a lot of time to him in the past couple laps, just simply because my tires were overheating, so I didn't feel like I had a lot of speed on those tires. So I ended up staying out even though during the safety car, and then I saw an opportunity when he chose not to pit. I undercut him, which ended up giving me a nice little 4-second gap, I believe. And yeah, but I mean, that whole stint, I was, I think, the quickest car on track, which was awesome. I had a couple issues with a couple people that stayed out on wets. Damon hit me when he broke himself to turn one, which was very annoying, but it luckily didn't give me any damage. I don't know how, honestly, but so I avoided that, and I then caught Jake. I passed Jake, and the strategy would have worked, but what happened was by the time I'd passed Jake, the rain had begun to fall again, and in the mixed conditions in Sector 1, I kind of got on the power a little bit too early. I wasn't expecting it. I did a bit of a half spin, which put me in the grass and lost me about 5-6 seconds. So Jake was able to get back by me. I had lost my track position, and then going into the pits, I don't know. I thought I'd slowed it down by the time I got to the board, but for some reason, I think I might have been like maybe 2-3 mile per hour over. But that was enough to give me a penalty, unfortunately. So you win some, you lose some. But I was never planning on really going into the pits during the second safety car. I was always planning on doing the 2-stop. And I was playing it safe, to be honest. I didn't want to take that much of a risk. I think Jake had a good strategy, but again, mine would have worked if it wasn't for that spin. So.
Yeah,
and there we go.
Sounds like a good overall race for you.
Yep. And there's our runner-up for today at Sugo. Speedster, after winning yesterday's race, he could have had a chance to sweep the weekend, but instead settles up for a runner-up finish.
What are you talking about? I didn't win yesterday. My wheel disconnected, and I had to
that is
retired.
right.
Yeah, I know I normally win, but no, that was stupid.
Well, no, I mean, like, you had a chance to sweep the weekend both times. You did have the pace.
Yeah, I did. Okay, I'll give you that's clear. I'll give you that.
That's what I meant by it, but all right.
All right, sounds good, Alan.
All right, and that is Speedster, runner-up finish today, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for commentating, and congratulations to P1, P3, Jake and Aiden. They drove a great race.
All right, and before we invite Carmentalist for P3, let's show a quick on board. This is Yogurt and Matt. This is what caused the second safety car. I've been showing it a little bit, but we'll ride on board here quickly. Matt goes too wide of Ben Gallagher through the chicane, runs wide, comes back on track, and nowhere to go for Yogurt. He loses his front wing. That is what caused the second safety car. And next we'll be interviewing Carmentalist. He finished P3 in this race.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear about his thoughts on the start.
Yeah, and quite interesting to hear two different opposing viewpoints on that overtake, which we saw coming. We knew that was going to be happening.
Yeah, but as we join here by commentless P3, started from P2, got into P1 quite early. How did that start feel?
Start felt really good, actually. Hi guys, by the way. Thanks for commentating as well. Yeah, the start of the race was really good. I got off the line all right. I've been struggling, well, pretty much all the season with getting good starts, but I knew Speedster was new to the tier, so I knew I'd get a better start than him, so I just tried to keep it clean into turn 1, and that's how I got the lead, really, at the start of the race, yeah.
Yeah, and also, whilst we're on the start of talking about starting positions, your running qualifying was probably impressive. Thousands of Speedster's lap time. How did that feel?
Painful, very, very painful. Because I did that run on my second lap on the same set of tyres because I just had the momentum and I thought I may as well just try. Because I knew it was going to get wetter as the session went on, and to be only 1,000th off on that lap is a shame, but I don't think it really made much of a difference to my race in the end anyway.
Yeah, understandably so. Was there a moment in the race where you genuinely thought that... well, actually no, sorry. When you moved on to the last stint, we did see you get rather close to Speedster, especially when Speedster cycled out of the pits. And you did also know he had a 10-second penalty, I believe. Mm-hmm. So were you quite secure in getting that P2, or what happened there?
I don't really know. I think the strategy that Jake ended up doing, I was probably going to do the same thing, but I saw Speedster pit behind me for a set of dry tyres, and I kind of caved to Speedster Speedster was the fastest person on track, really, so I caved to him pitting and copied him, and it cost me, really. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have pitted for dries. But then, that second stint, I knew that he had a time penalty, so I just wanted to keep within 10 seconds, but I just didn't have the confidence in the wet conditions, so I just tried to secure P3. I know Jake isn't my closest championship rival, and Matt and Ben, who are closer in the championship, were way behind me, so I just kept it on the road and made sure that I got P3.
Yeah.
So, any questions, Alan?
Yeah. So the man who finished in P3 in today's race, car medalist, like we said, congratulations on that result. As let's go back to the final few laps. So you realize Speedster has an 11-second penalty, and he's pushing. He's using his push to pass. He has a couple left, and he's trying to gain on Racing at Home because he wanted to try and finish ahead of him due to bragging rights, right? And he wasn't too concerned about you behind. He did want second place as well, and he's not running full-time in the championship, you are. So let's take it back. A couple laps to go. You're roughly 9-10 seconds behind Speedster. You were pretty much aware that there was a chance you could have lost second. So we go back then to the final lap. You're like, okay, I gotta use any push to passes I have left, and we have to try and get ahead. So on that final lap, were you trying to go for a fast lap? Were you trying to push the car to its limit, or were you just like, okay, I know that P3 or P2 is out of the question?
I kind of knew that P2 was out of the question. I think with about 5 laps to go, I thought I could do it, and then with about 5 laps left in the race, I was on the 11-second bubble already, so I was like, the only way really I'm gonna get P2 out of this race is if Speedster catches Jake. And that was kind of what I was hoping for. I was hoping that Speedster would catch Jake before the end of the race, which obviously didn't happen. And at the end, I thought, well, I made a mistake on the penultimate lap, and then on the last lap, I thought, Speedster might make a mistake at some point. I've just got to use my push to passes and try something at least. So I just pushed as much as I could on the final lap, used all my push to passes, just in case Speedster made a mistake on the final lap, but he didn't. And yeah, just wasn't really fast enough to take P2 from him.
Right. Any more questions, Crusher?
No, not from me.
Right. I think that's going to do it. Congratulations on P3, and thank you for joining us in the booth today.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks for interviewing and for commentating as well. Thank you for commentating.
Yep. All right. So I think that's going to do it for today. Next week, make sure to tune in for Fuji. Going to be very, very interesting for IndyCar and LMP3. Both races are going to be a lot of fun. Fuji's a great track to race at, so looking forward to those races. So thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Crusher, do you have any final comments?
Remember to tune in next week. It's going to be another belter. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so anything else just going through? And I would like to mention the events that we have going on for... Let's see, for next week going on. I'm trying to scroll through the TTG Discord. I'm trying to see where do they have this stuff posted. It's at the very top. All right. So Monday, tomorrow, we have clear. Nothing is going on. For Tuesday, make sure to join Kieran McGinley and James Head for TTML Division 1. Wednesday, again, don't forget to join Aiden Carter and Luke for TTML F2. For Thursday, we have TTML Division 2 and Division 3 with James Head, Paco Suarez, Aiden Carter, and Wilco. And then Friday, don't forget to tune in for TTML Division 4 and Division 5 between Joseph, Graham, James, and Paco again. And again, that is when we open up the weekend to when we have some more CRC action. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in. My name is Alan Cavagner. I'm alongside Crusher, and we'll see you next week. Have a safe night, everybody, and peace.